Welcome to the Impact Lab podcast, where we interview the top business leaders and experts in the world in their respective industries.
Welcome to the Business Insider Weekly Hot Takes, our front row to learn about business experts who are leading the way in their industries. Our mission? To fill your Rolodex with the creme de la creme of experts that you can work with, partner with, but most importantly, boost both of your growth opportunities. Let's dive in and meet today's guest, Demi. She's the CEO of Limpiar. Nice to have you here, Demi.
Nice to be here with you today, Phil. Thank you for
Appreciate that. So let's dive right on in. Tell us a little bit about your company. Give us a snapshot.
Thank you for that, Phil. So my company is called Limpiar. It's an on-demand cleaning service platform. We clean for both residential customers and commercial customers.
So who's your ideal client?
Our ideal client are homeowners or apartment owners. Our target market right now is anywhere from ages 25 to anywhere from that up. We found that that's a clientele that, tends to spend money on making their house look clean and that can actually afford that. On the flip side of that, on the commercial space, we target operations managers. We work with them and partner with them to really bring their facilities up to speed and just make their facilities look cleaner so that they can retain their customers.
Perfect. So what's the biggest challenge that your industry faces?
Of course, the biggest challenge that this industry faces is um, for the customers, it's really difficulty in finding cleaners. And on the flip side of that, the cleaners face difficulty in finding customers. So we're kind of that bridge that brings together the cleaners and the customers, and we bring the most effective and reliable cleaners so that they can service the customers.
So the way you're set up is you've built the platform to connect the two of them. You're a
That
dating app for cleaners.
we're a dating app for cleaners, just like
I
that.
love that. Easy peasy, right?
Exactly.
So is this the evolution for the way that you think the janitorial marketplace is going to go over the next 5 to 10 years?
I agree. I think that right now there is a lot of labor surplus, but there's a lot of, cleaners that lack the digital skills to actually go out and run ads, run effective ads, because I've talked to cleaners and they're running ads, but their ads are not as effective because they're not sure who to target. Um, so I believe that in the future, it really is going to shift to a system where, you know, homeowners and property managers are looking to a trusted source to get their cleaning from, right? One thing about Limpiar is we carry our own insurance and we make sure that everybody who works with us is vetted. So we provide a lot of security for property owners in general, and they would prefer to work with us and kind of avoid the hassle of dealing with the cleaner directly. And, I feel like a lot of people are going to follow this trend and really start to work with companies like Limpiar and other companies within the space to get their cleaning labor.
So what separates your company from some of the others that are in the space?
Of course, I would say first and foremost, and this might be something tacky to say, but I would say it's the technology. We have our mobile applications that we use to track our cleaners and also to send them work orders. So it's fairly easy for us to get someone scheduled to a job and actually track when they're showing up and give them more details as they're going through the job. Um, on our customer side, right, we kind of take away the back and forth of arguing with your cleaner and trying to like decide on what exactly, you want from your cleaner or decide on what a complete job looks like. And we allow you to kind of get a snapshot overview of what's going on with your cleaning, as well as leave some extra notes for your next cleaning or during that cleaning while the cleaner is on the job. For a lot of traditional cleaning companies, they don't have access to this sort of technology. So usually, if a job is done and it's not satisfactory, they have to keep coming back till, the customer is satisfied with that job. But with our app or with our platform, you can leave real time updates and kind of have your job completed on the first try. So I would say that's something that separates us. Another thing that separates us is our business model. Right. We work with our cleaners as contractors. So we have, oh, right now we have over 10,000 cleaners on our platform. Right. So if you need a same day job, you need a last minute job, we're the go-to for that. Right. A lot of cleaning businesses, because they retain their labor as employees, they're not able to kind of tap into that excess supply of cleaners. So they're not actually able to take on those last minute on-demand jobs. It's kind of what separates us. And we have a lot of emergency cleanings that come up, and all I have to do is pop into our platform. Hey, this is the pay, this is how much it takes, and then we have cleaners ready to do the job right there.
Yeah, I can see how convenient that would be, especially after you look around after the party and you're like, you know what? I do not want to do this.
Exactly. That's definitely it.
Good, good. So, as you know, people in general like to work with people that they can relate to a little bit. They have a good feeling about. So we like to do a little bit of a lightning round and just ask some general questions for fun and get to know you as a person. So there's a couple of them that do dive a little bit deeper, but most of them are pretty high level. Let's jump right in, okay?
Of course, I'm excited.
All right. First thing in the morning, coffee, tea, or other?
Tea. I'm not a coffee person.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs for sure. I have cat allergies.
Oh, yeah, that eliminates them. So, is there a favorite city that you visited?
My favorite city that I visited, I've been to a lot of places. I think my all-time favorite is probably Dubai, and that's because it was a family vacation. I have a large family, so it was back in 2019. There's 14 of us, and we're all able to be in the same place at the same time and have fun. And that's very, very hard to do. So that's my favorite city because of that.
So, is there a song that you've been listening to on repeat?
Oh. Actually, I've been listening to a lot of different songs on repeat. Oh, one of them that actually came out recently is Bae I Love You by Sexy Red, and it is amazing. It's a great song. It's very, very like out there, so I like it.
Excellent. All right, so here's a fun one. We're in the zombie apocalypse. You get one weapon. What do you choose?
A gun, a very big gun.
Very big gun. I don't blame you. All right, so everybody stumbles and bumbles in business, in their personal lives. Is there a failure that sticks out for you?
Of course, I think my earliest failure really comes from, I think when I first started Limpiar. I needed someone to take care of the technology part of Limpiar. And I think a big failure from my side really came from, going with a partner that I didn't properly vet. And then that kind of set us back with the project for about 4 to 5 months. So that's kind of the biggest failure. But since then, I have a new partner, and our tech side is like completely taken care of. So I can wake up every day and smile and know that I have to do operations and not worry about the tech stuff. So I'm
Yeah, it's a
excited.
good lesson though, right? I mean, know who you're partnering with.
Exactly. Know who you're partnering with. And I actually saw this quote online where they said, like, a co-founder is like a marriage partner, right? Like you're basically you're getting married and you're creating a baby, which is the company. So it's like you have to make sure you have the right partner. And I didn't do that at first. And, I have so many tales to tell on the disasters that happened on that. But yeah, I've definitely learned my lesson.
Good for you. That's a good lesson to learn early. So, is there any movies or streaming series that you're binging right now?
Well, right now, I'm actually binging Vikings of Valhalla. It's on Netflix. I'm a sucker for anything Viking related. I feel like I've seen like seven different Viking shows right now. So I'm a sucker for anything of that sort. So I'm also a huge nerd. So sci-fi, like anything within that, old-timey within that sorts. That's me.
So, Demi, if our listeners want to reach out or work to collaborate with you in some way, how do they get in touch?
Of course. You can shoot me an email. It's demi@limpiar.online. That's my email. Or you could send me an email, my personal email. It's demio Oloyede. That's Oloyede @gmail.com. And you can also reach out to me via Instagram, or you can also reach out to Limpiar's Instagram, which is Limpiar Online. We're always looking for good collaborators. So
Spell Limpiar for us.
it's Limpiar.
Well, Demi, thank you so much for your time and your insights. It's been a great interview, and we'll talk with you soon.
Of course. Thank you so much, Phil.